Right, Troops, how's it going? It's Rory here from Mammoth Audio, and today we've got another interesting video on our Ultimate Starter Pack. This is a pack that we've had on the market for a couple of months now. It's been very popular with a lot of people who want a very quick and easy to use, ready to use library of samples that range from all kinds of different sound design tools and genres and sub-genres. We've got hits, we've got risers, we've got FX, we've got loads and loads more. Pads, textures, and the list goes on. But one of the best subcategories that I would say from the pack is our stutters. Now, I've loaded up a couple of those today in this session to kind of give you an idea of one way that they can be used really, really well, which is in thrillers or horror movie trailers right at the end as the movie title screen is shown. There's loads of examples over the last couple of years where you can see that, where there's a final crescendo in a build, and you know that sort of horrible scratching string sounds to really build the tension, and then on top of that, at the end, as the film's revealed or the film title's revealed, you get a nice sort of stutter, clang, clinking sort of thing to reveal the name of the movie. So that's kind of the imagery or the scenario that I've created in this little example of how you can use the stutters from the Ultimate Starter Pack. So we're jumping inside the Ableton here. You can see I've got a little hit marker here just called movie title screen, so pretty self-explanatory. That's for the name of the film or the title. Let's just say it's something like, I don't know, A Quiet Place or Insidious or whatever it might be. Horror film. So we're getting the trailer title coming up at the end. We've got a little bit of a couple of builds up here from that. We've got one from Flow, we've got one from Ping, we've got a couple of just different risers and stuff like that I've added from my own collections. And then we've got our different stutters, as you can see, all ready to use down here. So without further ado, let me just play this little 8-bar loop so we can hear the different stutters and how you might be able to use them really effectively for a movie title screen reveal. So starting off with the first stutter, the wooden grain stutter. So there you go. When we play this next one, I'll probably do it from around about here. But anyway, the wooden grain stutter. So as you can, so I'm picturing it in my head. You can imagine that. Obviously, there's the tension, there's the build, there's the crescendo, and then there's the stutter coming in. So it could be the revealing of the thing, and then you've also got this little bit of a tail, which is really. Could cut to black or something like that right there. So that's a really, really good example of one. That definitely sounds very horror because that sort of that strained sound that you've got there, followed off by the kind of climactic hits, or I wouldn't say a hit, but attack in the tail of the sound. I'm going to move on to the second one. This is the flyby stutter. So we're using the same build up and stuff like that just to give you some different options and some ideas of how it can be used. Oh, this is the second one here. So I think that one worked really well. You've got a nice low end to it, which is always really nice to always fill up that spectrum when we've got like a final hit. It kind of leaves people obviously experiencing the uneasiness of the visual aspect of whatever scene or cut from the movie that they're seeing at the end of the trailer. But there's a sonic and an audio sensation on top of that, and it culminates in essentially giving you the experience of making you think, wow, that looks cracking, or that looks really scary. I might go and get myself scared S-less to see that. So you get them both together and you get a nice combination there. Here's a third one. Again, we'll just go from sort of like this bit here on the riser. This one's called the Paranoia Stutter. So there you go. Again, that works really, really nicely. Paranoia Stutter there. Moving on. Actually, before I play the next one, I think that one, like the Paranoia Stutter there, why does this work, or why do I feel like it could really work in this context? Well, you've got the hit part, which comes on the hit marker here. So you've got the hits, that's the first part, and you've got the follow up, which it works really, really well, in a sort of revealing way. You've got a tiny little, very small crescendo right at the end there, which can go to like dates or production company, etc., or a blank screen. It's just a good example of showing how obviously stutters are quite often used in the bulk of track, or in the middle somewhere, perhaps before maybe like the final section of the track structure really kicks in. But they are super useful for these revealing title type shots. Let's move on and listen to Drilling Stutter. That's fantastic as well. This is one of those sort of stutters that's super versatile. So I've obviously got it right there at the end. But even if I wanted to move this right to the hit marker, put that back down, right here. I see what it sounds like. Still works exceedingly well in that context. Again, so you've got the hit there for the beginning of the title reveal, and then with that last kind of metallic metal hit, you've got the end of the title sequence being shown. Cool, moving on, we've got our bow stutter. Pretty straightforward there, but again, it sounds fantastic. This one's slightly longer, but I mean, that would be fantastic to like a kind of, I would put that down with like an Insidious title reveal. It's really uneasy, unsettling, and the last sonic element that the viewer / listener is experiencing is something really jarring and uneasy, and that's sort of a sensation that stays with you and lingers, you know. So it can be super, super useful when getting that final cut, or getting a sound for that final cut nailed and just being super effective and unique. And then finally, we've just got the sixth one here. This one's called Disturbance. It's almost like an animalistic snarl to that one. So again, this would be one that, like the drilling stutter, that could work really well. Maybe shift it across. Let's just play around with it just now and see if that does actually indeed work just as well. Just going to zoom in and do it a little bit more neatly, so we just get that hit kind of towards the end there. So something like this. Again, sounds just as good as when it's maybe set to have a bit of a longer tail after the final hit on this part here. Similarly, I can maybe go inside and just slightly extend it, so I would maybe hit on a down marker or something like that. That sounds great. Let's maybe even try it a little bit more, so we're hitting it on the fourth beat. The transients might make it sound pretty different, but it can still give us a cool sound. Again, that sounds really, really cool, and you're leaving the audience or the viewer with a really uneasy feeling as that final horror / horror thriller movie title screen is coming up at the end of the trailer. So there you have it. Those are some examples of the fantastic stutter samples that we have inside of the Ultimate Starter Pack. Again, I think the object of the video was to try and see them getting used maybe in a different way than usual, having them at the end, using them as a really, really fantastic garnish, let's say, to the end of your track. You can always get creative with how you mix and match these different stutters as well as combining them. But if you're going for that really tension-driven, uneasy, unnerving horror sound in your track, and you're ending with like a wooden grain stutter or maybe a paranoia stutter, then you're leaving the audience with a really uneasy, but in a good way, feeling as that final movie title screen or that TV show title screen hits the visuals, hits the cut, and you've got a really fantastic, unique sound to accompany it as well, and leave them feeling satisfied and perhaps slightly disturbed at the same time. So if you were interested in any of the sounds that you heard here, be sure to go check out the Ultimate Starter Pack, and be sure to go to mammothod.io to sign up to our free membership area. Not only do you get to see some other really, really great content on the Ultimate Starter Pack and any of the other products that we have for sale, we have loads of free content like workshops, tutorials, walkthroughs on all the different products, and we've got other really great surprises coming up towards the end of the year and in 2021 as well. So go check us out, mammothod.io, so that's mammothAUD.io, and go check out our socials as well for lots of other cool content and news as we progress to the end of the year. Thanks very much for watching. Until next time, take care.